Hi guys, thank you so much for connecting to our yet another podcast slash interview episode with interesting people in crypto and outside as well. So as today guests, we got Elise Lumiere, a really interesting person to talk to, head of BD at Winglabs Agency, a business developer with like 7 years experience in crypto, even more in blockchain sectors. So I'm gonna stop blabbering. Elise, could you tell about yourself? It's really interesting to know about you, about your experience.
Yeah, thank you for introducing me. So my name is Elise, and I'm working as a business developer for Winglabs Agency, and I specialize in digital strategies, compliance, and relationships with clients. I have network and help to build projects from zero to hero for numbers of projects like Rockdale, UPCH, Palo, and I have worked for Cointelegraph, Kraken, and Reflex in the last 7 years. Not all at once, so.
Wow, that's really big names here.
And personally, I have a lot of connections with listing team for Maxi, L Bank, Binance, and you named it. Basically, that's the service that Winglab focus on. We want to help project to raise fund and successfully list their token to be more visible on social media.
Wow, that's really cool. So you work with like Kraken, I heard, Cointelegraph, Bitflex, hopefully. So what's the biggest mistake actually crypto founders make when trying to scale their projects?
Well, for this type of question, I don't think it applies for those companies. It's different. But okay. Let's say when I was working as a project manager in 2023, I learned that 90% of the project founder came into the market without trend or knowledge prepared. So they rely heavily on confidence that the project will work out without networking first, like prepare what they need first. And it not necessarily fail, but it will take a lot longer time for the projects to achieve something in, let's say, branding visibility or trading volume or listing process.
Well, it's really interesting. But it's kind of common when Web3 projects start. They are easy to get up and do some stuff real quick, but then they fail and cannot raise funds and maintain traction. So in your opinion, what separates projects that like succeed long term from those who just disappear?
The difference of the project that succeeds long term or the disappearing one, I think it's always back to core value or the technology behind it or the market maker. If you have a clear plan for the product, like every marketing strategy surround around products, right? It's of course now the majority of companies will focus on customer centric, but because of customer centric, we have to come back. What do our products solve for the market? Like the success of Pump Fund, for example, it was very unexpected because it answered the question that people needed, and therefore, I believe that there's still a lot of opportunities, but the mistake that founders normally fall for is they focus on their product too much and they do not care if the product is actually serving any purpose in the market, and they are overconfident with their plan.
So the utility is the key here. Okay.
And that's why it normally cost them a lot of money to begin with. It cannot be reversed because it already done and the product is already out there, and when user experience is not good, they will definitely not come back for the second try.
Really interesting. So let's summarize basically, but from like investor side. So what metrics do they focus on when deciding whether to fund Web3 project or not? So Name three most important factors that determine fundraising success.
To determine on who are you raising funds from. Are you raising fund from community, or are you raising fund from the venture capital, or are you raising fund from your circle of network? Because each of them have different strategy, and I mostly help the project to fund from community mostly. And at first, we always need some big names as partnerships. You always need who the giants in the industry who is willing to at least present social media or content or interviews or podcasts like this with you. Once you onboard those, then you can actually start to gain some attention. Not necessarily is the milestone of the achievement, but it's something that put you on the map. And then the second important actions is you have to be very active on your community, where the platform when you choose to present yourself. Always remind the community that you're there, you're available, and you can answer question anytime, at any hour, at any subject. Be very transparent with the community. I know some of these sound backward with the value of blockchain and community, like being decentralized, But now with the amount of projects that is suspicious out there, this is one of the unique selling point when your team is honest and open. Yeah.
I'm asking that because it seems like there are more outside works and like inner job right now. So you gotta work really hard on community, really hard on networking right now. It's like basically more than 50% now. And I noticed that, we usually call collective calls, and I'm like here as a host as well. So there are a lot of projects that come in there pitching, but sometimes, they like struggle with that, the pitch process, with negotiations. So really curious, in your opinion, what's the number one mistake like founders make when they are trying to pitch their project to investors or launchpads?
The most popular one, I think, is ChatGPT. They use that for the pitch. They use ChatGPT to beautify the wordings and phrasing, and in the end, it kind of lose their spirit, and it make the whole pitch deck a lot more complicated. Yeah.
Yeah, they are like overwhelmed sometimes. You got like strict limited time, because we usually like have it in 5 to 6 minutes, and they struggle to like tell you the essence, the core value of the project, and it's hard sometimes to judge whether it's a good project or not.
Yeah.
Okay, so it seems like the AI sometimes is a solution, but at the same time, it's a problem here as well.
It can help a lot when your project is new and short on staff and lack of marketing team member. Yeah, but overall, I think if you want a really good one, you still need to have an expert to deliver that for you, even though it costs maybe a little more. Yeah, but I think it's worth it.
Let's talk about the listing by itself. So you have direct connections with listing teams at Binance, Kraken, Maxis. So what's the real process behind getting listed? And what's the harsh truth that founders sometimes don't realize?
I think it's about the price. They never prepare for that. Yeah, the price of listing. And if they are, then the issue is listing does not guarantee you immediate success, and you have to face that back again to the community. If you did not prepare for a strong community before you launch, then listing does not guarantee anything, or it even costs you money for a long term or a long run, and you kind of burn out your capital instead of gaining. So the preparing for the community is very important.
And also, I heard that you work with like more than 500 KOLs and influencers. So how do you separate like real impact from vanity metrics? It's really important here.
Yeah, I think it's just something that you have to work with time. You cannot use AI for this. All the KOLs and influencers that I have put my hand on with content and data analyzing from them, they can actually boost and fake their numbers on social media, and then when the actual projects come or when the actual giveaway or airdrop come, their number will not be as promising as they seems to be at first. And then we have to come to a disagreement, like this is too expensive for us to test. So we have to be really strict with the budget and learned this the hard way. So yeah, if you are a smaller business or smaller project and you don't have that much money to test and fail, I suggest that you should use marketing agency in Web3, because this is the only thing that human is still analyzing it instead of AI.
And AI and Web3 are merging fast. And is it like game changer still here, or just not the buzzword?
For AI, of course, when you come to social media or content, then you can definitely see their replacement in human force. But with data, and especially the data that you crawl out from Twitter, I don't think there's any data like that yet.
Okay, really interesting. And by the way, if you were launching like your own Web3 startup today, so what's the first thing you'd focus on?
I'm not that ambitious. So I think the first thing I focus on is core technology. Yeah. I think in the first 2 years, I will try to minimize the amount of my team. And I think inside research is going to be my 50% of my budget. And maybe I'm not suitable for a venture capital fund.
Okay.
You will not have me.
I totally understand. And I guess let's talk about like the NGC strategy. So I heard that Telegram mini apps are one of the NGC's key strategies here. So can you share like a real case study where this delivered like massive growth?
There one customer that we were helping in October that gained from 0 to 600K per month. Wow. Of users. Yeah, it's for a ton project. And we only needed 3.5K for that whole campaign. So that's an impressive number for the time being. But I have to admit that it was ton trending on mini apps, so maybe it was the time that helped too. So, and after that, we were running some advertisement for other chains, but it did not meet the standard compared to that month. So that was one of the successful case there. So, mini app, the small game, cross marketing, cross partnerships, media partnerships on that app that you can click on and earn the token, the local token of the project. That is a very impressive and gamified the products that you can gain and have user acquisitions without spending too much on money. But if you don't have a dev team, that is going to be challenging. So I think that was one of the most successful case for us.
That's really cool. And in terms of like the whole Winglabs biggest ambitions for 2025, are there any exciting partnerships you could share today?
I think the most successful partnership with us is, for example, you guys. That's quite successful. And then
flattering. Well, thank you.
Yeah. Also, the Ton project that we just mentioned in the previous question, Paton, and there are a game that we just signed with discreet contract with them, so we cannot release, but was a very impressive number for us too.
Wow, that's really cool. So much plans. So many plans. Yeah, really. And what's the best way for projects to contact you if they, like, for example, need some help with marketing and growth?
We mostly work on Telegram or the best way is to not get lost in, or our DM is also you can direct us straight on Winglab Twitter, official Winglab Twitter, and we will be checking our message 24 hours per day. And yeah, definitely that's the best way to contact us.
Oh, that's really easy. We can leave your contact details in the description as well. So, guys, if you're watching, if you're watching, you can get in contact with our speaker. And yeah, Elise, it was pleasure having nice talk with you. I have just last question here because obviously the time is money. We can talk like forever, but yeah, we gotta stop at some point. So the question is the crypto industry moving closer to mass adoption, or are we heading for another crisis? So what do you think?
Personally, I think that with the new elections and all the political move from the US, the market will pump in the next 5 months. Yeah, so I don't have a negative perspective in the future, but who knows?
Yeah, it's like, the dark times are, going way too long, so to say. Yeah, we gotta, go back and submerge at some point. Yeah, I look positively at 2025 as well.
Yeah, thank you very much.
Yeah, absolutely, Lise. It was a pleasure having such a nice, so nice talking with you. Guys, just imagine real quick, we got a nice talk with Elise Lumiere, head of BD at Winglabs Agency. And if you want to get in contact, be sure to check out our description and, all the links and whatnot. Elise, thank you so much. It's been a pleasure. Have a nice day.
Yeah, thank you very much for having us today.
Yeah,
Have a
see you
good day.
around.